What is up, everybody? Today on the show, we've got two news stories. One regarding Xbox / Game Pass side of the stuff, and then on the other side, we've got a Sony story regarding PlayStation. So, a good variety of stuff to talk about today. But in addition to that, we're going to talk about all the current playthroughs, updates on the status, and what you can expect coming up for the rest of this week because Friday is kind of, undetermined at this point, really hinging on how things go in the next day or two. So, it's time for another podcast. Sit back and relax. This is Level 1.
Get ready for some meaningful content because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Alrighty, folks. Welcome to the show. I'm Darkside Phil. This is the Level 1 podcast for Wednesday, the 21st of May, 2025. For the record, we're doing something a little different this week. If you remember, we're not doing a podcast every day. So we are doing a show today. We are not doing a podcast tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a moment because there's good reason. And hopefully, if the momentum keeps up the rate that it's been going, we'll actually finish a playthrough tomorrow, meaning we can have some more time in the schedule for other things, which I'd be excited for. Okay, so I hope that you're all doing well today. I welcome you to the show. Interesting variety of news today. We had one big news story that's like a big positive, kind of exciting announcement for those who like retro games. I'm one of them. You know, I grew up in the 1980s playing games on my Atari 7800, and today's announcement actually ties directly into that when it comes to Game Pass. Pretty exciting stuff. On the flip side of that, there was a negative announcement today. They're actually shutting down a rewards program that Sony's been doing for a couple of years now, and it actually seems to be like a fan favorite, so Sony decided to end it. We'll investigate, okay? In truth, I didn't even know much about this program, but I actually was part of it. I had earned points, and in light of them saying the program was ending, I was like, oh, let me redeem all my points. So I'll show you all about that in just a few moments. Now, also, in regards to my current gaming schedule and everything going on right now, you know, the big question mark this week was, will I beat Doom, the Dark Ages, that is, by tomorrow? Or will that playthrough continue? Because hinging on that factor is what else I'll be doing. For example, if we don't beat Doom by tomorrow, then I need to play it on Friday, which means I'm not doing anything different on Friday. It's just a whole lot of Doom this week. If we do complete Doom the Dark Ages tomorrow, then that means that Friday we can do an additional stream. Now, we had already talked previously this week about what I should do because there's a couple of options. Option number one would be to play the new game Onimusha 2 HD. This is the sequel to Onimusha 1, which we just played a couple months ago as a result of trying it during a Viewer's Choice Marathon, and I absolutely loved it, did a full playthrough of it, and was like, wow, I'm stoked to play the sequel. But we also are in the midst of many other playthroughs, including Clair Obscure Expedition 33, Blueprints. Now we have chill late night streams of games like Minecraft and American Truck Simulator. And now we have Capcom Fighting Collection 2 in the mix. Notably, Capcom vs. SNK 2 has been doing pretty good. It's exciting gameplay and something new and fresh for the streams. So, with all of that being said, should I really be starting a new game right now, particularly a remastered remake? Because that's really what Onimusha 2 is. It's not a new game. It's a remake of a game from a long time ago. And technically, I could play it whenever I want. So maybe we don't start up a new playthrough this week, but instead I focus in more on the games that I've been playing over the course of the last month or two to get further in them, because there is a high-profile new release coming out a week from Friday in Elden Ring Night Rain. So we'll talk a little bit about that because I want to get you guys caught up on the status of how I'm doing in all the games that I'm currently playing right now. There definitely has been some advancement and, maybe some hope for actually finishing something. Okay. So I hope you're all doing well. What's going on, everyone? I see a lot of people in chat. What's up, Ian, Apollo? How you doing? Jesse, good morning. How are you? Things are good this morning. Thanks for asking. Most Tasteless over on Kick. Devisri Prasad over on Kick. I think that's the first time I've ever actually pronounced your name, even though you're a regular on Kick. Daily Demo, how you doing? Hey, Michael, good morning. Piper, good morning. How is everyone? What is up, what's up, what's up? Your future stepdad, what's up? How's it going? So, good stuff all around. Good vibes this week. So far, so good. We're halfway through. This is actually starting the second half of the week right now today, of a 6-day streaming week, that is. And feeling good. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't think there is a single thing I'm doing right now in the rotation that I'm like, I don't like it as much as something else. Like, Clear Obscure, very fun. Continuing on with this awesome narrative. The gameplay is actually getting more interesting the further in we get. And we just got a new character, and I was thinking about adding him to the party today, perhaps. So everything there is working out. It's just a very long game. We're over 20 hours into it at this point, and it's taking a very long time to get through it, which it will. I'm no lie, it's probably gonna take another month to beat the game. That's how lengthy this game is, but it's a great one. I'm in it for the long haul, really enjoying it. Blueprints. Let's talk about Blueprints. This is a game that I didn't even know existed, and you guys had me start playing over a month ago. At this point, I think it was like a month and a half ago that we started playing Blueprints. And at first, I played it a lot as a new release, and then we reduced it a lot. And I'm basically only playing it like once a week at this point. We tried it as a late night stream, and it did not work, mostly because the people that like the game can only show up on the earlier streams to support it. So since I moved it to the night streams, it kind of started to fail, and then I brought it back to day streams, and then it started working again. Okay? Yesterday, we made major advancement in Blueprints. Like, no lie, we got some of the rare rooms that you need in order to kind of finish the game. I actually finally unlocked them and started going into them. We solved some of the ongoing puzzles and mysteries of the game, including the chess puzzle, including the music sheets puzzle. And then we actually had a whole new thing that we did. We had uncovered a new room called the gallery, solved the gallery puzzles. Well, you guys really helped me with those because those were ridiculously tough. And then we ended up going into a secret room called Room 8 and solving a whole other mystery that led to a trophy award. So we're doing a lot in the game. Like, every time I play the game, I'm like, this is going to be the day that when we play Blueprints, not a lot happens. It gets boring. And I just, I don't feel like proceeding any further. And then literally every single time I say that, we get shocked with like crazy amounts of new content that's like really entertaining. And I'm like, wow. And you, admittedly, as I've kept this as a day stream, you guys have come by, hung out, and supported me through these streams. Even if the attendance isn't great, those that are there are very engaged and liking that playthrough. And that's why I've kept it in the rotation, and I'm really enjoying it. Okay. Okay. So, excuse me. In regards to Blueprints, the problem with the playthrough right now is that we are like 22 parts in. And if you do the math, that means we're like 25 to 27 hours in. A lot of my parts are like an hour and a half long these days, right? I actually make 2 videos instead of 3 over the course of most afternoons. So because of that, all right, a lot of people are like, oh, just drop Blueprints, don't play Blueprints. But when I play it, like I said, having an engaged audience that comes by and likes the playthrough and supports it makes me want to continue. It may not be a huge audience, and I get it. It's a puzzle game. It's just first-person exploration. There's no action. It's a lot of involved reading of stuff and trying to remember storylines and secrets and codes. And I have 3 pages of notes for this game to get through it, in order to solve the puzzles and the like. But basically, I really like it, and I want to keep it going, even though it's not, super popular or whatever. But we haven't had a chance to really play it that much. So I think that the playthrough's been suffering. When you're only playing the game once a week for 2.5 hours, you're not going to get anywhere. So that's what I was thinking is maybe it makes sense to try to increase the amount that I'm playing Blueprints by maybe another stream a week. So we do like 2 sessions a week. Might make sense. And I'm strongly considering this. Okay. Now, Minecraft has been very fun, especially since we switched from Bedrock to Java Edition. The mods that I put into this thing, including the controller mod, the shading mod, and now the Distant Horizons mod have all made this playthrough be very special. Last time we played it, I encountered this whole new secret biome inside of a cave, and the lighting in the cave is amazing. So I'm actually having a lot of fun playing this game. But already I'm noticing that the attendance and the support for Minecraft has started to dwindle. Now, I say already, we've played it a lot. Like, I've been playing it now for over a month. Remember, we started in early April. That was when the Minecraft movie came out. And here we are in almost late May. And, I get it. Maybe the gimmick already wore off. But keep in mind that we played Minecraft for a year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half back from late 2018 all the way through mid 2020. This was an ongoing thing that we did. And it went really well. So I don't want to give up on it. I do want to keep it in the rotation. I hope that we will. I hope that you guys will still come by and check out Minecraft. I know that last stream, we didn't have as many people. We didn't have as much engagement. We didn't have as much support. It's all good. I want to keep it going. The way my attitude here is basically I can't take a playthrough like Minecraft and expect that every single time that I play it, that everyone's going to be there. This is a game that it's not a new game. It's not really an ongoing playthrough with a story, right? Some people, when they can come by and they can chill, are going to come by and chill, right? And so I treat it like that. I'll keep going for now. But if I do notice a distinct pattern that, it's falling off and people aren't really liking it anymore, then maybe we won't do it anymore. I mean, right now we have games like American Truck Simulator that's a lot different, and it's a new kind of chill stream. There's also been, recommendations and demand for other indie games and other things for chill streams. I'm like, well, has Minecraft lost its luster? I don't know. I think it has renewed life because it's on PC and we're using these mods, okay? But maybe others don't agree. I don't know. Kless, you are correct. He says, well, the donations were low, but the viewership was super engaged for Minecraft. People were talking about it. People were enjoying the fact that they were wagering channel points on Kick over what was going to happen, right? Was I going to survive? Was I going to die? Was I going to go into a cave by a certain time? Was I going to find mineral? They were wagering. They were enjoying that. They were enjoying the wagering of points, and I totally get it. Like, I can see that working during the Minecraft streams because you never really know what's going to happen. At any moment, an enemy could come around the corner and sneak attack you, and then, now your whole night is thrown, for a loop. So we're going to keep it up. I'm not going to give up on Minecraft for now. All right, I'm going to keep it in the rotation. We'll see what happens. But, I'll have some patience with it, okay? American Truck Simulator, we're only doing it once a week, and it's a cool late-night stream where I have a few White Claws, and we relax and talk and have some story time while I'm also playing it. It really is where I feel about the social aspect of the game rather than the game itself. The game itself, you're just driving trucks, right? And we have bought our own truck, and now we're going to start doing jobs for ourselves, start earning money for their own business. But I think the major appeal is more of the silliness and the chill vibes of that game than anything else. And of course, it's something new in the rotation. I've only played a couple times. So that's exciting. I'll keep that too. Really, the big question mark in my schedule right now is Doom the Dark Ages, okay? So let's get everyone caught up, because I know a lot of you aren't caught up. Last night's stream of Doom the Dark Ages was actually the least attended one that I've ever done. I've been playing this game for a week straight. It came out for the advanced people who played extra, which was me, on Monday of last week. And I have played it almost every single day since. I think I only skipped it twice, but I've been playing it nonstop, okay? Every day there's a major stream of this thing. Every day it's 2 to 3, if not 4 hours of progress. I didn't even do a podcast the other day so that I could play this game 4+ hours on the stream. I wanted to make maximum progress. So here's the thing about Doom the Dark Ages, all right? Is it fun? Yes, it is. Okay? Is it full of action? Sure. Is it rage baiting? Yes. It is. Okay? But at this point, we're like 17 hours into Doom the Dark Ages. Okay? And it's a first-person shooter. I mean, does it have a story? Yeah, but is anyone actually even paying attention to the story at this point? Probably not. Multiple stages don't even have story advancement. Like, in the beginning, there was. In the beginning, every stage had a cutscene and it was advancing the narrative. Now it's like, okay, so you went through a dimension, you got to another dimension. You fought your way through the first part. You fought your way through the second part. Okay, you got a special weapon. You fought your way through the third part. Look, dude, look, I just beat 4 chapters. There's been no story yet, right? So the game went from actually having a narrative focus to like they kind of forgot about it. I get the feeling now that we're getting near the end, they're going to get back to it. But for the most part, it's the gameplay, right? That's what's exciting. But to be honest, it's very repetitive. Okay, it is. It's literally very repetitive. And I get it. People now, at first, when I was playing Doom last week, were like, wow, look at this excitement because new weapons, things are blowing up all over the place. Now they're like, oh, I killed another demon. Oh, I killed another room full of demons, another gauntlet of demons. Demons, demons, demons. I know. That's the game. So, not necessarily the most exciting thing to see someone play, I feel. Like, at first it was, and now, unless I'm getting a brand new weapon that I unlock and I try for the first time, it's just not that interesting. And hence, I have to ask the question, should this game be 22 chapters long? Should this game actually be as long as it is? Because right now I'm 17 hours into it, and I'm on chapter, I think, 16 or 17 out of 22. So probably 1 or 2 more streams and we're going to beat it. But why is it so long? If the game doesn't really have that much else to offer, if it's really just the same gameplay loop over and over, then why is it so lengthy? And in addition, what's the difference between Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages? That Doom Eternal, everyone seemed to kiss its butt and say, oh, it's the best game ever. And that's not happening with Doom the Dark Ages. I don't know if you guys know, if you've been paying attention, everyone is like, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't like the medieval theme. Maybe I don't know if I like the prequel aspect. Maybe it's too story-centric. Why is there a shield? Everyone kind of has like this meandering excuse for why Doom the Dark Ages isn't doing as well as Doom Eternal. But I have an explanation. It's called There's No More COVID. Okay? Doom Eternal came out during 2020, the year of COVID. The same year as Animal Crossing New Horizons. The same year as many other games that normally wouldn't have performed the way that they did. But when the world was stuck at home because of COVID, okay, everyone was playing every game that came out that was a mainstream hyped game. Do you really think, just think about this, Animal Crossing New Horizons, a game that is just a town simulation game, would have been the best-selling game of Nintendo for that year and many years if people weren't at home because of COVID? It probably would have sold a third as much. And I think that that's also what happened with Doom Eternal. This game got way overinflated, way overhyped, way over positivity, simply because everyone was stuck at home with COVID and wanted something to do. So if you're, for example, someone who doesn't want to sit around playing Animal Crossing all day, you're more an action-centric person, you probably played Doom Eternal that year. But now, take a look at everything else going on, right? Now, within a few weeks, we've had games such as Oblivion Remake on Game Pass, Clair Obscur also on Game Pass. We've had outstanding indie games come out this year. We had a new Monster Hunter, right? We had giant open world RPGs like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We've had outstanding co-op games like Split Fiction. I mean, I keep going. This year has been a good variety year for games. No matter what floats your boat, you probably have gotten to play a decent game in your favorite genre. So if that's the case, and you're looking for what's the hot new thing, are you necessarily going to lean towards Doom the Dark Ages when there's so many other things available? By the way, everyone's back to normal life. We all still have our jobs, we're in school, we're doing our normal stuff. We're not stuck at home all day. So not everyone has as much time to sit around playing games all day. And so a game like Doom the Dark Ages, I feel, isn't a bad game. To be frank, I like it more than Doom Eternal. I like it a lot more than Doom Eternal. I don't know if I like it as much as Doom 2016, because Doom 2016 was a lot more in line with classic Doom. You were the Space Marine. You were trying to save humanity from invading demons. It had a lot of throwbacks. Remember the retro rooms that looked just like old Doom? That really hit the spot for me, right? It was the perfect mix of modern and nostalgic. Today with Doom the Dark Ages, it is just a modern game. There's nothing nostalgic about this one, okay? But people just seem to not be playing it as much. It's definitely not receiving as much unilateral praise as Doom Eternal did. but to me, it's a better game. So kind of funny how things change. In 5 years, all of a sudden the entire mentality of the gaming community shifts simply because COVID's over. So the thing is, I think when they developed this game, they had Doom Eternal in mind. Wow, well, everyone liked Doom Eternal. They liked gauntlets of enemies. They liked massive challenge. So let's just do a whole game where it's just gauntlets and arenas and things like that. And then they said, well, let's add story too. And most people don't care about the story. For me, I'll be honest, I like Doom the Dark Ages. I do feel like it's too long. I feel like it should have ended 2 hours ago. Like it should have been quality over quantity. And maybe instead of being a $70 full priced release like it is, it should have maybe been a $40, $50 release that was on the shorter side, and it probably would have been more interesting. Okay? All right. So, yeah. That's all I really have to say about it. I like it, and we're nearing the end game. All right. Last night we did a 2-hour stream. During that 2-hour stream, we completed, let me see, chapter 14, and then we beat chapter 15, and I believe we're mostly through chapter 16 and about to beat that as well. So on my late stream tonight, we're playing it again. We're likely going to beat chapter 16, go into chapter 17, and maybe even finish chapter 18. That would leave us with 4 chapters to finish on tomorrow's daytime stream, because that's right, we're playing it again tomorrow. And just like we did on Tuesday, there's no podcast tomorrow morning. I'm solely focusing on finishing Doom. I hope we can finish it tomorrow, because I would like to do something different on Friday. But if we don't finish Doom on the first stream tomorrow, we're finishing it on Friday. That way, Doom is done and in the books, and we can more focus on other games, whether that's more blueprints, more Clair Obscur. We'll figure it out. But that's the thing. Like, if you look at my schedule right now, okay, just to show you guys what I'm talking about, I don't have a definitive answer for you guys on what I'm actually doing Friday, Sunday. I can't. How could I have a definitive answer when I don't know what the heck's going on with Doom? It's still not done. So, depending on how things go, that'll determine what we do next. Sorry that I can't really have an answer. I would say if we beat Doom tomorrow, I would say maybe what we'll do is Friday, perhaps do a bonus stream of blueprints. And that means next week we can focus in a lot on Clair Obscur and blueprints. Maybe we'll even switch it up a bit and do a different kind of a daytime stream one day for some reason. We'll do something different. I don't know. I really like Capcom Fighting Collection, but we haven't really had a lot of chance to really play it. We played it on launch day, and then we played it Sunday, and now here we are on Wednesday, and I haven't had a chance to touch it again. I really like Capcom versus SNK too, so we're going to be doing that Friday night, but yeah, it kind of sucks that I just can't focus in on retro stuff. I would love to. I would love to focus in on a retro thing, but it's just not really, it's not available to me when I'm juggling so much other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so today, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm excited for this. Today, we're heading into an optional area that we found last time. It's a combination of fire and ice. Don't ask me how that's possible. But yeah, it's going to be pretty neat. And apparently this area is around level 70, but I'm only like level 40. So it's going to be challenging, but I already took on the first fight and I won, and I gained a ton of experience. So we're going to give it a shot today, see how it goes. Maybe I'll just gain massive experience, level up in this area, get some great items and stuff. And then we're going to go back to the main story. So today should be big advancement in Clair Obscur. Tonight, it is Doom the Dark Ages on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully, big progress finishing up those stages and setting in line for tomorrow. Tomorrow will not be an actual podcast, but instead will be a daytime stream of Doom the Dark Ages, where my plan is to finish the game. I do hope we can wrap it up tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, it will be American Truck Simulator on the late stream. Fun times, White Claws, stories, chill vibes, and I finally get to work for my own business. So that'll be neat. Friday's up in the air. If we need to finish Doom, we finish Doom. If not, Friday will probably be a bonus stream of blueprints, which I'd love to do. And then Friday night, the return of Friday Night Fights, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, probably more CVS 2, because I've been having a lot of fun with CVS 2. I'm off on Saturday, and then we'll talk about, Sunday when we get there. Now, in addition to everything I just mentioned, I would like to draw your attention down here. We have had a great supportive week outside of the Minecraft stream, where it was low support. Everything else, we've hit the goal. We're now at 75 out of 80. We are in prime position that if we hit our goals this stream forward, that we'll actually be doing DSP Tries It Red Robin on Friday. Okay? It's possible. Will we? Is it a lock? No, it's not. It's not a lock, but it's a possibility. So let's see how we can do. Let's get some momentum going. Please support the streams. If we hit a goal every stream, today, tomorrow, and the day stream on Friday, we're actually going to be trying out Red Robin. And I'm excited for that. Where they have these new barbecue nachos with meat and all kinds of sauces and cheese. They've got all these kind of gourmet burgers and things. And I haven't eaten at Red Robin in many years. I can't even remember the last time I was there. So it'll be exciting to try this menu. And again, this is something different. Instead of just getting fast food, we're getting takeout from a sit-down restaurant that's trying to compete with fast food. So we're going to see what they offer and see if it's any good. All right, so let's get some support going. Let's hit some goals. All right, let's see. Who will be our first contributor of the day? Who is it going to be? It's not going to be this troll who I'm ignoring right now because they're an idiot. Okay, so who's going to be our first super chat of the day? Who's going to be our first tip? Who's going to be the first person to become a member or give some memberships to their fellow viewer? Well, I already know the answer on Kick. The first sub of the day is from your future stepdad. Thank you, your future stepdad. Right there. Boom. First contribution on the Kick side. Thank you there. And that is $5 of support. If you're wondering why there's no dollar signs today, it's because this particular font, which I wanted to use for the first time, for some reason, certain symbols don't work and the dollar sign doesn't work. So no dollar signs on the leaderboard today, but I think you'll get the gist, okay? All right, so thank you there, your future stepdad, for the first contribution. Appreciate that. So now, let's get some more support flowing, shall we? Cool. Okay. Sidious just asked, because you're approaching games from a business perspective, are there any games that you reluctantly pass because they won't be good enough for a stream as opposed to a personal playthrough? Sure. Metaphor, a game that I played 12 hours of in the demo / whatever it was, beta, and then no one was watching or supporting, so I couldn't play it. Strategy games, for example, I used to be a huge fan of StarCraft back in the day. StarCraft 2 came out, I played it, everyone hated it, told me never play a game like that ever again, and I never have. To some extent, things have changed in regards to lengthy RPGs. Like JRPGs, I'm a huge fan of, and they never really did that well. But recently, I did Suikoden 1, and that worked. And now we're doing Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and although it's not technically a JRPG, kind of plays like one, and that's working now. So, that's one I've stayed away from, but now I'm actually starting to enjoy it. So, yeah, I would say those would be the style of game. That personally my tastes are for like more lengthy narrative-based adventures, more chill games, rather than always action-based. People love action. They want Call of Duty. They want Soulsborne. They want Doom. They want stuff like that. For me, as I'm getting older, I'm liking more relaxing titles. I'm liking things where we can have more interaction while we're also enjoying a game together. But for a lot of people, if I'm not suffering or if I'm not so intently going, at every second playing a game, they think that it's not a good game, right? So, the more relaxing stuff, a lot of times I have to kind of take a back seat and say, I guess I can't really check that one out, right? Recently, people have suggested a few different games. They're like, will you play this? Will you play this? I was like, well, I really can't. That's another thing. Like, I can only play one of each style of game at a time. I wouldn't be able to play Doom and another action-based FPS. I wouldn't be able to play Street Fighter and then another fighting game. I wouldn't be able to play Clair Obscur and then another RPG. If I do more than one game at a time, it's overload, so sometimes I end up having to put games on the back burner. Okay. I received a $4.20 tip from a big throbbing Cowboys boner. I'm not putting that on the leaderboard, but thanks for the first tip of the day. I refuse to put that on my leaderboard. Big. There we go. Oh, that's right. The dollar sign doesn't work. So no dollar signs today. Okay. Thank you for the first tip of the day. It's incredibly disgusting, but It still supports the stream. Yeah. All right. So let's get some more support if we can. Thank you guys. Usually the podcast does pretty good, and we usually get a good head start as we head into the gameplay. Sure would be great to get a great head start before we head into Claire Obscure today. All right. We have 2 new stories I'd like to cover today. One positive, one negative. Let's cover the positive first. I think that we should talk positivity before we talk negativity. All right. So, some interesting and exciting news for Game Pass. Xbox may update. Retro classics are coming to Xbox Game Pass, PC gaming updates, and more. Here we go. A variety of new updates are available this month across our gaming platforms and coming today. It's live now. Retro classics games are available to play for Xbox Game Pass members. Players who stream on the Xbox app on PC now have an additional streaming option with GeForce Now. I'm probably not going to be doing that. Game Bar introduces quick settings. Xbox gift cards can now be redeemed for any amount via Xbox Rewards. That's new, right? Because Xbox gift cards used to only be able to be bought in like increments, weird increments of like $5, $10. I guess what they're saying is now you can get any increment for a game card. So all these things are announcements, but the big one is Retro Classics, okay? So, what is Retro Classics? We're thrilled to announce the launch of Retro Classics, a collaboration between Xbox and Antstream Arcade, available to play for Game Pass members globally. Starting today, Game Pass members can dive into a collection of 50 plus, that's right, over 50 classic Activision games from the 1980s and 90s, including beloved titles like Commando, Grand Prix, Kaboom, MechWarrior 2, 31st Century Combat, and Pitfall. This initiative is a step in our commitment to game preservation and backwards compatibility, allowing players to experience many timeless games on modern devices. I wish that it would say the actual listing, because it doesn't actually list every game, but they do give an interesting kind of splash screen here. So, for those who don't know, this is the library of Atari 2600? I think it was Atari 2600 games. So, that very popular Atari home console from the 1980s. All right, the one that kind of started the home console craze becoming more mainstream, because there were others as well. But Atari really kind of became synonymous with games at home, kind of like Nintendo became synonymous with NES, right? So these are games from back in the day. Do they look great? Absolutely not. They look like ass. All right, they're all very pixelated. The sound effects are blips and bloops, okay? But these games are gaming history. I own some of these. I had, taking a look at what we're looking at right here, I had Grand Prix. I had Pitfall. I think I had Freeway, which is very similar to Frogger. It's kind of messed up because if you die, you're a chicken getting squished. It's pretty messed up, actually. Among others, there's more here. They just cut off at that point. What I'd like to do, if I open my Game Pass app, I wonder if it's updated and actually has the full listing of games. If I go to Game Pass, does it have? There it is, Retro Classics. Install. Let's get it, because I want to see what games are actually in it. I can tell you which ones I've actually played, because I played probably a lot of these, I would think, back in the day. Okay. Let's take a quick look. It says, in the upper left-hand corner, it says Pleasantville. Why does it say the name of the app is actually Pleasantville up here? That's pretty funny. So, all games. Here it is. These are all games. So, take a look here. Oh, it has Classic Double Dragon. Oh, that's cool. Wait a minute. No, it doesn't. This is an ad. Why is there an ad in the game? That's stupid, because I thought that was it. It's not. That's actually not it. Okay. So let's see. So here's what I played. Let's see here. I've seen and played Freeway. I owned Grand Prix. I feel like I had Mega Mania. That sounds familiar. I think I had Mega Mania. I played the original Pitfall. I never played Pitfall 2. Ooh, River Raid. River Raid's really fun. You're in a boat and you're basically shooting things on a river and dodging obstacles. It's pretty fun, man. Oh, there's actually a sequel. I didn't know that. Oh, Riddle of the Sphinx. No way. I had that. Riddle of the Sphinx is an interesting game. What else? Oh, did I play? I feel like I played Title Match Pro Wrestling as well. I'm pretty sure I did. Willie Beamish. Willie Beamish. Oh, Lord, look at this. What is this? This ain't an Atari game. That's definitely not an Atari game. It wouldn't have looked that good on Atari. How do I go back? How do I go back? I just hit all games. So then what's this? Why is there 2 different Willie Beamishes? What the? There's 2 different versions of Willie Beamish? Why? That's weird. Roger Wilco? What's this? In the spine. Oh, wow. It's a classic point-and-click adventure game from back in the day. Roger Wilco in the Spinal Frontier. So they're not all Atari games. Some of them are. Like, for example, River Raid. This is 100% an Atari game. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See? Atari graphics. So some are and some aren't. I guess some of them are like full-fledged PC games and others are Atari. That's interesting. Like some of these I never even heard of. Freddy Farkas Frontier Pharmacist. What? Yeah, look. It looks like Roger Wilco. It's another point-and-click adventure game. Yeah, DOS. Oh, okay. DOS. Really? Willie Beamish was on the Genesis as Elixification. What is this? Why? My question is, why is this ad here? Because I don't want. That's pretty annoying. So this is very interesting. What is pressure cooker? What the heck? Look at this game. Definitely an Atari game. So this is kind of neat. Like, I don't think anyone's going to go crazy for this, but, oh, wait, look. Here you go, SNES. Platform. Okay, Sierra. Look at that. So it sorts the games out. DOS. So this is PC games. Sports. I see. PSX. So MechWarrior 2 is on here. Atari 2600. And then most of these are Atari 2600 games. Activision Prototype? What is this? What the hell? Interesting. What was on the Amiga? Police Quest? What's that? Oh, God. It's another point-and-click adventure game. So there's a lot of these, huh? Interesting. I mean, first of all, it's hilarious. It's actually called Pleasantville up here. That's what the name of the app actually is, but that's not what it's called in the store. So to access this game, you got to look for Retro Classics, not Pleasantville. But this is kind of neat. It's free on Game Pass. It definitely is a way to have posterity for these games, you know? A lot of these games, game preservation is a problem, and you wouldn't be able to actively play them. Now you can. It's kind of cool. Maybe I would check some of these out someday. Maybe we could do like a special event where I check out games from this collection. People vote for which ones they want me to try. We could try different ones because there's a lot of variety in there. A lot of action, some sims, some point and click, right? That's awesome. Yeah, Kless says Sierra's known for point and click games. There you go. So anyway, that's available today. If you guys are interested on Game Pass, give it a look. It's always good when you get something for nothing. And that's something nice that they added that you can play right now if you're interested. You know, out of the blue, like no one actually expected or knew that they were going to do that. They just dropped it out of nowhere. So, hey, good on Xbox for adding something new for free. If you have Game Pass, you already have it. You can check out some of those games. Not to say that anyone's going to go crazy, right? In regards to that, but something interesting and different, right? Cool. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Yeah, exactly. Free. Free is good. Free is always good. If you're already a Game Pass subscriber, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want to check out some stuff that's getting added that you don't have to pay for, right? Cool. All right. Air conditioner's going crazy again today. All right. So that was the positive side of stuff. Now, it's time for us to flip that script. It's time for us to go to the negative side of things, my friends. You ready? So today, we have some upsetting news for fans of PlayStation and Sony in general. PlayStation Stars is coming to a close. Now, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. I got something I want to try. PlayStation Stars is a loyalty program that launched in October of 2022. So this is a program that's only existed for 2.5 years. And I remember when PlayStation Stars launched, okay, I said, what would I actually want out of PlayStation Stars? For those who don't know, PlayStation Stars is a digital loyalty program that Sony launched where when you buy anything digitally, it could be a game, it could be a DLC, you could even just be buying like Sony credits. As long as you're doing digital transactions through your Sony account, your PSN account, I should say, and that account is linked to the Sony app. You need to actually have the PlayStation app, okay? If all that's linked, you're earning points by default. Now, that's one way to earn stuff. Another way is that they actually have challenges. Like, for example, it'll be like, play Dragon Age Veilguard and get to a certain point and you get a reward, okay? So some of the rewards are actually legit good. For example, for every time you buy a full-priced game, I think you earn like 700 points. And those points later on can be redeemed for actual credit on PlayStation Network, all right? However, a lot of the rewards didn't seem to make much sense. When I first looked at it in 2022, I had the app and I was like, what am I going to do with this? They were offering digital trophies. What does that mean? So, for example, you would do a certain challenge, log in a certain amount of times, earn a certain amount of trophies in playing games, and they would reward you a digital artifact. Like, I don't know, a mini digital statue of one of the CEO of Sony or something like that. What's his name? Yoshida or whatever? That's the kind of stuff they would offer. Oh, you played Dragon Age Veilguard enough, you earned a Veilguard trophy. It's a dragon, okay? You might say, well, that's kind of neat. Well, what do you do with them? Nothing. You don't do anything with them. Essentially, I think what it is, and maybe I'm onto something here. I actually think that at one point, Sony was going to get into NFTs. Sony thought that NFTs were going to take off and they wanted to have a piece of that pie. So they designed this whole program that if you play Sony games, you spend Sony credit, you would earn NFTs. And maybe at some point they'd be tradable, sellable. Well, we all know the NFT market is a huge joke. The whole bottom fell out. No one cares about NFTs. They're completely worthless, right? I mean, they're digital nothings. Who gives a shit about an NFT? So what Sony ended up doing, I feel, is they took that effort. They already put money and development time into it. And they said, oh, crap, what do we do with these now? Let's just do a loyalty program. And sure, they have no value, they have no use, but at least we're doing something with them. We didn't waste all that money. All right. So there's people who've liked this program over the last 2.5 years. They've done all these challenges, weekly challenges, monthly challenges, daily challenges, and they earned a giant trophy case of digital trophies that literally have no use. It's not like, oh, I have an amiibo, and at least the amiibo I can have physically in my house, right? It's nothing like that. It's digital. You can only see it when you open your PlayStation app. Now, perhaps if Sony took this one step further, maybe if they used some ingenuity and said, hey, why not tie these digital trophies to, say, your PlayStation account, your avatar, when you're on PlayStation Network, when you're on your PlayStation 5 console? If you remember back in the day, Xbox, one of the coolest thing they did with Xbox 360 is that your avatar could have clothing. It could have digital like companions. I remember I had creatures from various different games I played on Xbox 360 that would be like dancing next to me whenever you saw my avatar, right? And anyone could see your avatar. If you do co-op with someone, you could immediately access their player card, see their avatar, see all that stuff. So imagine if Sony did that. And now you actually had cool stuff to show off your uniqueness or your likes and stuff, your style on your profile. Maybe then PlayStation Stars would have taken off and people would have actually cared. But apparently that never happened. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it was announced this morning, PlayStation Stars is coming to a close as Sony Interactive Entertainment evaluates new ways to evolve future loyalty program efforts. Qualifying points are redeemable through November 2026. So at Sony Interactive, we're always experimenting with new and exciting ways to bring our community of players together to share the joys of gaming and create lasting memories. That's why 3 years ago, we created PlayStation Stars, a loyalty program to celebrate our players. The unique program includes playing games to earn rewards, including our unique digital collectibles, that's what I was just talking about, that pay homage to incredible games and our PlayStation legacy. The program has helped foster a deeper connection with fans around the world. Since launching the program, we learned a lot from evaluating the type of activity our players respond best to, and as a company, we're always evolving with player and industry trends. Through this evaluation, we decided to refocus our efforts, and we'll be winding down the current version of PlayStation Stars. We'll continue to evaluate our key findings from the program and are looking into ways to build upon these learnings. Here's some key things taking place. Starting today, you can no longer accept new members to the program. If members choose to cancel your membership, you can't get back in it and you lose all your points. Current PlayStation Stars members can earn digital collectibles, points, and level up their status all the way through July 23rd. But then it ends. Then there's no new campaigns or any additional rewards or benefits to earn at all. Okay? This version of PlayStation Stars will fully end on November 2nd, 2026, and current PlayStation Stars members can continue to redeem points as long as their points don't expire before then. And it says, even though they're ending the program, you will still be able to access your digital collectibles even after the changes take place. So, it's a failure. Whatever they were trying to do with PlayStation Stars is a huge failure. Sad. I mean, it's a loyalty program. I'm sure some people like it, so why get rid of it? They do keep using these keywords, this version of the program, which leads you to believe that they feel like there is something else that they're going to do, that there will be another loyalty program in the future. But it is kind of weird. I mean, it's not even old. It's not even, they say it's 3 years old. It's not. It launched in October 2022. So it's only 2.5 years old. Most people probably don't even know yet, right? They haven't even used it. Me? So here's what happened with me. I linked my accounts in 2022. I said, oh, okay, so what is this? And I looked and I said, well, I don't care about any of these digital collectibles at all. So I'm just going to ignore it. And I did. Then I saw this announcement this morning. And I logged into the PlayStation app, and it said I had over 8,000 points from buying digital games on PlayStation 5 over the years. So I said, oh, what can I do? For 2,500 points, you get $10, credit on PlayStation Network. And I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up redeeming 7,500 points. I ended up getting $30 of PlayStation credit that I can put towards a game later this year. Maybe it would be, I'm trying to think, like, what are the PlayStation exclusives? Elden Ring Night Reign isn't, right? Elden Ring Night Reign is going to be on PC. Is that correct? I know I played the beta or the network test on PlayStation because I don't think they had one on PC, right? But so either that or later this year, you got Ghost of Yotai, right? So either one of those, I'll probably use the credit towards those games. But the only way to earn the stars, again, was to either spend money digitally, meaning you bought digital games off of PlayStation Network while your account was linked, or to be performing these challenges that they have laid out. They kept doing these weekly, monthly, game-related challenges. Play this game, get to this certain point, earn this certain amount of trophies, do this, do that, and then you would earn these stars. So yeah. So FYI, maybe you have it. Did you link your account? Did you have PlayStation app? Did you link your PSN to the PS app years ago? If so, you may have unwittingly, unknowingly been earning these stars like I have, and you're going to want to redeem them. Maybe you'll get a few extra bucks on PlayStation Network that you can use for a game or something in the future. Okay? That's true. Cabo Barack Obama says there's a new Silent Hill coming out. Is that cross-platform? No, I think that might be on PC as well. But anyway, there you go. Now, ultimately, this just is going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. Why? Well, you gave us something for free. You said it's a loyalty rewards program. Maybe we didn't necessarily like the digital trophies as much as Sony thought we would, and maybe this was just an effort to recover from an NFT fumble, but it was something new, something different, something fresh, and something free. Why take it away? How much realistically do you think it costs to operate PlayStation Stars? If it really costs a lot of money, then they screwed up right from the get-go. You shouldn't have had it be so expensive. I feel like this is something that they should keep, even if it's not any kind of a win for them. It's a loyalty thing, and people would be happy that they're getting something for nothing. You know, Xbox has a very similar program where over time, if you're checking in with your Xbox Game Pass account, that you get points and stuff. So I don't know why they would just get rid of it. It's kind of silly. So anyway, sorry, goodbye, PlayStation cards. We barely knew you, and now you're gone already. I recommend anyone who has a PlayStation account check in and see maybe you'll get some free credits before the program ends in July. Okay. Okay. I know. Noble Time says if getting rid of getting rid of stars is stupid. I think they didn't like us getting PlayStation Network cards from it. So then why not just get rid of the cards? Yeah, it's a good question. It's kind of silly. Okay. Alrighty. So, those are the stories that I had for today. Oh, really? Elixification says, I just checked and I had some stars. I just redeemed them for credit. There you go, everyone. Go check it out. And again, you have to have the PlayStation app. You link your PSN account with a stars account, and that's how you get the credit. But it had to already exist. If you didn't do it, they already said you can't make a new account now. So you would have had to already have done it in the past. That's what I did. I didn't even realize. I hadn't checked this thing in 2 years. I checked it, and I had like $30 of credit there. Don't let it go to waste. Okay. All right. So, guys, that's what I had to talk about for today. I'm curious what everyone's up to today. What are your thoughts? What's going on in gaming? Please tag me in chat. Let's do a little bit of Q&A. If we get through this segment early and we want to end the podcast early to play more Clear Obscure, we absolutely can do that. But I want to see what's on everyone's mind this morning. Keep in mind, tomorrow there will not be a podcast. Tomorrow we're forgoing the podcast to try to finish Doom the Dark Ages, which I hope we can do tomorrow. So what do you guys want to chat about today? By the way, 1 second, because I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. That was a close one. My air conditioner turned on, and it probably blasted, like, some pollen in my nose. I was like, oh! I had to blow my nose quick. Okay. Very good. Noble Time says, I actually got like $100 one time from PlayStation Stars. Yeah, if you're someone who just plays everything on PlayStation, and you play a lot of games, you're going to earn a lot of credits. Like, that was from, remember, I became a PC gamer around the middle of last year. Okay, so arguably since last summer, everything for the last year I bought has been on PC. But everything before then was mostly PS5. There was some Xbox stuff, but there was a lot of PS5 stuff there, right? So I earned $30 of credit just casually over the course of around 2 years. So you probably earned, if you just play on PlayStation, you probably earn a lot of credits, right? Dr. Ding Dong, we literally just watched that or did that on this podcast minutes ago. He's talking about the retro classics. We just did it together. So just rewind the show. You'll see my segment on it. Okay. All right. So Iron Man the Power says, next week I'm going to get the How to Train Your Dragon meal, and I'm excited and tell you my review. I'd like to hear it. How about this, guys? How does that sound for DSP Tries It when we hit 90 goals? The new How to Train Your Dragon meal from Burger King, which is a special burger and a special drink, I believe. Let me find it. Here it is. So this is launching next week to tie in with the live action How to Train Your Dragon film. So the film comes out on Friday, June 13th, but it's Tuesday, May 27th that Burger King is getting this. So what is it? Take a look. It is the Dragon Flame Grilled Whopper. Star of the show, a quarter-pound flame grilled beef served on a red and orange marbled bun, colored with natural spices and vegetables, topped with American cheese, crispy bacon, tomato, lettuce, onion, pickle, ketchup, and mayo. So basically, it's just a regular Whopper with bacon and a special bun. Fiery Dragon mozzarella fries. There they are. Look at that. In addition to bringing the flame, BK is bringing the heat with fiery dragon mozzarella fries featuring melty mozzarella cheese, peppers, and a fiery Calabrian chili pepper breading for the perfect fiery snack. Interesting. And it's supposed to have a toothless-inspired cartland. That's the name of the dragon, right? Soaring strawberry lemonade. Soar to new heights and quench your thirst with the all-new soaring strawberry lemonade with real fruit juice. And a Viking chocolate sundae. Finish the adventure with Viking chocolate sundae, delicious sweet treat. Vanilla sauce syrup with Hershey's chocolate syrup, black and green cookie crumbles. So this could be the next DSP tries it. For next, it starts what they said, the 27th? The 27th, Tuesday. So let's set that. Let's say the next DSP tries that we're doing is going to be Red Robin, and the one after that will be the How to Train Your Dragon meal from Burger King. We'll try the menu and see if it's any good. All right? And then after that, of course, we're working on the next marathon event, which I know what it is. I'm still not going to spoil for you guys. All right? I want to save it. I think you guys are going to like my idea for the next 100 goal reward marathon, okay? All right. So that's good stuff, Iron Man the Power. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying the How to Train Your Dragon meal. The burger sounds like it's going to be exactly the same, except the bun's going to have like a different flavoring. But those fries sound interesting. Spicy mozzarella fries. Watch them be absolutely disgusting. Anyway. Okay. No, I did not know that they already made the live-action sequel. They greenlit the live-action sequel remake already. That's funny. Okay. Hearts to Heart says, at any point did you spend $100 or more on a game release? Oh, yeah. All the time. Back in the day, when the special editions of games used to be big unboxings, right? Because if you got the collector's edition or special edition of a game, usually it would come with like a statue or a collectible like that. It would come with some kind of like big art book, sometimes a soundtrack, sometimes a whole bunch of in-game promotional stuff. And you get this giant thing that would look really cool. And I used to do a show called Release Day Unboxing, where I would spend the extra money to get the collector's edition of the game. And then on release day, go to GameStop, pick it up, drive back home, literally unbox it live on camera, upload that to the internet. And while people were enjoying the unboxing, I would play the game and do the first session of gameplay. So yeah, all the time back in the day, I used to spend over $100 on a game, seriously, because the game would be like 50, 60, but then the collector's edition regularly would be like 100 to get all those different things with it. Yeah. Carlos says, I really hope Square Enix looks at Clair Obscur and says, wait, so we can make the mainline Final Fantasy games turn-based and people will actually pay for it if they're good? I know. We literally don't need these action-based button mashers, which is what they turned Final Fantasy into. Final Fantasy 16, I don't know how many of you have watched my playthrough. I entered a boss fight. I swear to God, I just did this. I read the chat the entire time. I never looked at the TV. I literally just did this, and I beat the boss. And this was late game. This wasn't like, oh, early game, easy. No, this was late game. I just was like this. I was reading chat the whole time, talking with you guys, and I beat a boss not looking at the TV. Because the game is so piss easy. We want strategy-based, use your brain style RPGs. We don't want mindless button mashing. Not every game has to be Kingdom Hearts 3. You know what I'm saying? I understand Kingdom Hearts 3 was made for a certain audience, but we don't need every RPG to be that. We certainly don't need mainline Final Fantasy to be that. And that's what Square Enix did. They ran the series into the ground, and that's why 16 tanked. So they need to get back to basics and make a good game again. Clair Obscur is a perfect example of how turn-based combat can work in a modern-day setting if you do it right. Noble Time says, Rebirth was hard, in my opinion. I mean, I guess I wouldn't know. I guess I didn't get far enough in, you know? I don't think Rebirth necessarily was as button mashy. It definitely was button mashy kind of style, but it wasn't. Definitely Final Fantasy 6 was the worst. Excuse me, 16 was the worst. That was just mind-numbingly stupid of a game. Mash, 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 do a special move. Mash, 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 do the next special move. Mash, 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 do the next special move. Do the big move that you've been saving up for. Oh, recharged all your moves. Mash, 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 do a special move. There's nothing to it. And then every once in a while, just press the dodge button because you'll just dodge anyway. You don't even have to time it. Just mash, you dodge. It's so bad. It's a horrible game. Oh, don't even say that. Final Fantasy 16 was DMC. No. That's an insult to Devil May Cry. You can't say that. You're actually really bringing down Devil May Cry if you say that. I'm not even a huge fan of Devil May Cry, and I know that Devil May Cry was better than Final Fantasy 16. Okay. Speaking of Rebirth, how am I going to handle playing part 3 of Final Fantasy 7? I'm probably not playing it. Who cares? If you guys did not care about part 2, why the hell would we care about part 3? You guys did not give a shit about part 2. Okay? I played it, what was it, like 12 hours? By like the 4th to 5th stream, we had people sitting in this chat talking about March Madness basketball. March Madness basketball. I don't follow sports. People were so disengaged from the game, they didn't give a fuck and started talking about sports. So why am I going to play that game again, and why on earth would I go to play 3? I don't see the point. I got to play stuff my audience likes. You guys didn't like it. What's my favorite DMC game? Oh, man. So let's see. Which ones did I play? I played 1, correct? I played 3. I played 4. And I played that more recent one. And I played the reboot as well. That failed. Oh, man. It's hard to say because I've only played them all once. When you've only played them once, it's really hard to judge. I actually liked the more recent one where, you know, it was over the top with the graphics of hitting people with a motorcycle as a weapon and stuff. It was pretty wild. It was a pretty good game. Hello, War Thunder enthusiast. Welcome to the stream. Carlos says, well, about Doom, story-driven FPSs are my area, but Expedition 33 just kidnapped my free time. I'm doing a 3rd playthrough of it and going for the platinum before starting anything else. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that the game took, you know, actually it enamored you. You were star-stricken by Clair Obscur. No, I can get it, especially if you haven't played a good RPG in years and you start playing this one, you're like, wow, the graphics are outstanding, right? The voice acting is great. The music is amazing. The gameplay is engaging. The world design is gorgeous, right? Like, seriously, very unique. Excuse me. Noble Time says, I don't know what's going on. There's a movement online to bring back Star Wars Battlefront. People don't seem to realize Disney aren't going to bring it back after what happened with the last one. Well, they made 2 of them, right? And both of them had issues. If you remember Battlefront 2, they tried to turn into this like microtransaction card-based game and everyone hated it. So then they were forced, but because of fan feedback and fan basically like blowback, they were forced to completely redesign the game and change it over time. I just don't know about Star Wars being that prominent right now. I feel like Star Wars had a rise when the trilogy was starting again, but then when the trilogy ended and sucked and everyone collectively hated it, and now they've got all these lingering Star Wars projects that are all like flubbing and failing, like no one's watching them now. So now I feel like it's not the time for a new Star Wars game. You know what I mean? Like that would be a waste of time. A lot of people aren't really into Star Wars right now. It's like everything, right? There's peaks and valleys. There's crests and then ebbings of the wave. So right now, they're not too hot. Maybe they'll come back with a big Star Wars project in the future, and that'll be the time to strike when the iron is hot with a new game. I don't think if they made a new Battlefront now, it would do so well. Let's see here. Someone tipped $2, says 10-year, what do you say? Hold on. 5 years of Game Pass is $900. Retro gaming isn't free or whatever. It's easy to say it's free, but you're taking the subscription for granted. I'm not taking the subscription for granted. What I'm saying is Game Pass remains arguably the best value in gaming. Or, yes, you're saying 5 years is $900. Okay, and how many games are you going to play on Game Pass, right, that you would have outright bought? Okay, here's an example. Right now on Game Pass, I'm playing Minecraft. I'm playing Clair Obscur. I'm playing Doom the Dark Ages. I was playing Call of Duty. I was playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I recently just played Atomfall. I'm playing Blueprints. Okay? What else? I mean, I'm going to take a look at games that I played. I played Avowed this year, right? Five Nights at Freddy's, one of them was on there on Game Pass, I believe. Only one of them, though, I think, right? Let's see. Anything else recently? I'm looking at what else. Oh, Flight Simulator. In the fall, we just played on there. Oh, Ninja Gaiden 3 Black, which we just played a few months ago. Stalker 2, which we played over the fall into the winter. Okay? So all of those games are Game Pass games that otherwise I would have had to buy. And I've been playing, what, $20 a month? And that's within, what, let's say that's a 6-month time period. So let's argue it's $20 a month for 6 months. It's $120. I literally just called out 8 to 10 games. So that would have been anywhere from, like, maybe $300 to $600 versus $120. How can you argue that there's not value in Game Pass? How could you argue that it's expensive? It's not. As long as you're someone who likes to actively check out games that are on there, it is a humongous value. And on top of that, since you already have it, you're now spending additional to play these games online, which you would have to do. That's another thing that people don't seem to understand. Imagine if you have an Xbox, but not Game Pass. So now you have to buy Call of Duty for $70. Then you have to pay for Xbox Live every month to play it online. If you have Game Pass, you're getting both. I just don't understand why some people don't like Game Pass. The only reason you should dislike Game Pass is if you're the kind of person that joins one of those subscription services, but you don't really stay on top of your finances. So you subscribed, you played 2 games, you forgot all about it, and a year later you realize you just spent $120 on something you didn't use in a year. Then I'd be like, okay. But for an avid gamer who's playing a lot of stuff, there's going to be a lot of games on Game Pass. For example, the Lies of P DLC's coming up. I'll be playing that on Game Pass, Cydia says, in a case where a minority want to see a specific Let's Play from you, would something like a GoFundMe, raising the funds in advance of a playthrough be something to consider? What would be the drawback? Well, here's the thing, Cydias. I understand what you're saying, because, for example, maybe there'd be a game that only like 10 people actually want to see me play. And then everyone else like, don't play that game. That game's boring. It's not going to be fun for a stream. But what if those people were willing to fund the playthrough and say, no, we would literally pay you. So as if when you're playing it, you're hitting your funding goal every stream, right? It would be a tough trade. I don't want to be playing stuff just for the sake of making money. I want you to understand that. Like, I want to be playing stuff because I'm enjoying it, you're enjoying it. And then because of that, there's reciprocation. People saying, hey, we love the fact that you're doing this playthrough here. We'll reward you with some support. Get it? So yeah, I don't know. We'd have to talk about that. We certainly, I haven't done anything like that yet. There's never been someone who said, hey, I'll pay you up front. This game is 10 hours long, so it'll take you 5 streams to beat it. So I'll pay you 5 streams of $150. Do the math. I'll pay you $750 if you play this game. That's never happened. No one's ever made the offer. I've never considered the offer. Nothing like that. I guess we'd have to see. We'd have to see what happens if that ever would be viable. But personally, I think I would like to make content that the live audience is going to like. You know what I mean? Not that I'm just going to be playing a game for one person who buys the playthrough, right? Well, Adam says, I don't like Game Pass. I like to buy and own my games physically. I don't like constantly having to pay. Yeah, but you don't own anything. Adam, do you not understand you don't own any games? You literally own 0 video games. You can't own a video game. Unless you own the company, you don't. All you're doing is you're buying a license to play the game. You may have a physical disc. You don't own the game. Most games physically, now when you buy them, they're just a download code anyway. You pop the disc into your console and it downloads the real game off the internet. You don't own the game. I don't know where this weird misconception is. This is not the 1990s. This is not the 2000s. The game's not even on the disc. It really is confusing that people say that. Escanor says Game Pass is killing Xbox. Can you please explain how? Please right now explain how Game Pass is killing Xbox. because this is the narrative I hear on social media from people who are strong critics of Xbox. Yet, no one ever presents any evidence. Everyone just says it. The thing is, absolutely none of us understand the agreements that are going on for games that appear on Game Pass. We have no clue if these companies are making flat rate money, if they're making per download money. We don't know if it's like a royalty or if it's, if your game hits a certain milestone, then we'll pay you. We don't know how it works at all. We don't know how profitable it is. Here's what we do know. A lot of games end up on Game Pass. Do you think that if it was not profitable for the game makers that they would put their games on Game Pass? Why would they shoot themselves in the foot? Does that even make any sense? And you say it's killing Xbox. Well, no, I would say what's killing Xbox is Phil Spencer and his pathetic leadership. And the fact that he doesn't understand that he needs to have a reason to own an Xbox for it to be a viable concept of a purchase. And he hasn't done that at all. He's done a piss poor job in the last several years of convincing anyone to own an Xbox, especially when he's telling you, your phone is an Xbox. Your refrigerator is an Xbox. Well, then no one's going to buy the console, you dingus. He's the problem, not Game Pass. Game Pass is a good value for the consumer. Now he just needs to make it make sense to own the console, and he hasn't done that. Game Boy, how are you today? Good to see you. Escanor says they're putting every game onto Game Pass day one. No one is actually paying for the game. Why do you think Xbox games are going to PlayStation? Because no one's buying the consoles because Phil Spencer doesn't know how to sell the console. That's how. That's why. If you're massively losing this generation of console sales, you're definitely last in place for sales. You need to sell your games other ways, and that's why they're doing the whole sell the games on PlayStation deal. But if they could sell consoles, then you would need to do that, but they're not doing that. Like, I think Phil Spencer just gave up. He realized he's a hack. He doesn't know how to do his job. So he just threw in the towel and said, just sell our games on PlayStation. Fuck it. Otherwise, you're right. These games would go unplayed, which is a shame because a lot of these are good games. Indiana Jones is an outstanding game. I actually really liked it. And I'm glad that it's actually getting some legs on PlayStation. But bottom line is, it would have sold consoles if they knew how to do it, but they don't know how anymore. Klesh says, are you still going to get next-gen systems that might be $700 to $800? Klesh, you got to understand something. For me, buying a game system isn't just a entertainment factor. It's my job. Is it not my job to buy a console, cover its launch, right? So me getting these consoles, unboxing them live, hooking them up, showing you what they're like, that day one experience, that's part of my job. That's one of the cool things I can now do with this new setup, dual cameras, unbox it live right here up in HD and hook it up, show you what it looks like, mess with it, give you that day one impressions. That's part of the experience of being a gaming creator. So even if I buy it and I end up never having a use for it, kind of still makes sense, doesn't it? Right? Like with Switch 2, can I be honest with everyone here? Switch 2 has one game at launch that I'm interested in, Mario Kart World. Switch 2 has one other game this entire year that's been announced that I'm interested in, Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's it. There's literally nothing else. Everything else is a third-party port. I'm not going to buy Cyberpunk to play it again on Switch 2. I already played it. So I'm buying this console, if I can get it, all right, for a launch day investment, playing Mario Kart World, playing Donkey Kong, and then it's going to sit there and collect dust just like my regular Switch has. That's Nintendo's fault. But it still makes sense for me to get it. I'm going to have that coverage. You guys are going to want to see me covering these things at launch, no? So doesn't it make sense for me to invest that money? I think so. No, I don't believe that. Kless says Metroid Prime 4 is going to come out this year too. I don't believe that. I think it's coming out next year. Or else they would have already talked about it and had a release date for it, and they don't have that. I don't believe that. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. I'm not bored. We're having a good conversation. Guys, that's it. It's time. It's time for more support. Guys, let's get some support. Let's get our first super chat of the day. We haven't had a single super chat. Let's get our first membership of the day. Let's get a tip bigger than $2. Come on. Hold on. There we go. Can we get some support, for goodness sake? No, Genesis Gaming, I just said Metroid Prime 4. I firmly do not believe that Metroid Prime 4 will come out this year, or else they would have already had an announcement. We know it's coming, but they haven't given us a release date at all. It's just, they're being very ambiguous about the game, and I think there's a good reason. It's just not done. It's not ready. If it were, I think we'd be getting more information, and we don't have that information. I think it's not coming out this year. I could be wrong. I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to play more on my Switch too, but I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that it's going to be just Mario Kart, and then Donkey Kong, and then dry spell only third-party ports for like 6 months, and then maybe next year we'll start to see Switch 2 games come out. That's my take. Adam, thank you for 18 months as a member. He says first member renew of the day. Yes, but that doesn't count towards our goals, sadly. But thank you for being an 18-month member. Pausen says Legends ZA is supposedly coming out this year. That is right. You're right. A Pokemon game, right? But again, isn't it funny? Why is there no date? I don't know if I believe it at all. Like, I get it. Here's what it is. They want you to feel confident in your purchase of a Switch 2 that games are coming out, but that's why they're not giving dates, because they're probably not. Look at our lineup. There's a new Mario Kart, a new Donkey Kong, a new Metroid Prime, a new Pokemon, and then all these cool ports coming out. And then as soon as the console comes out, they're going to be like, oh yeah, half those games aren't coming out this year. I almost guarantee it. But I could be wrong. This is a case where I'd like to be proven wrong. The more games, the better. The more use out of the Switch 2, the better. Everyone's spending all this money on it, right? You want to be able to enjoy the game, so... What do I think Nintendo's big holiday game will be? Nothing. I don't think there will be. I think it'll be ports. I think their ports will be their big holiday games, which is going to be hilarious. Ugh. Oy. Can I play War Thunder someday? It's free. Didn't we look into that one time? Is it a game with a bunch of vehicles and stuff? Amaze Lord does have a point. He says they always do a Nintendo Direct in June, so we're likely to get some dates then. You're right, because again, June is the biggest month for gaming. It really is. You got Summer Game Fest. There's always an Xbox showcase. I guarantee you PlayStation will announce something, and probably Nintendo will have a Direct, and we're going to get a lot of information. So I think you're right there. All right. Well, guys, I think we're winding down. And I think what we'll do, why don't we end the show and get ready for Clear Obscure. All right. So quick reminder, no podcast tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll be doing lots of Doom to try to finish Doom. I hope that we can finish Doom between tonight and tomorrow. I would love nothing but to do something different. All right. I guess we'll see. Dig Bix did a €2 or a £2 super chat, says you should have taken me up on my bet offer for more. What are you talking about? Dig Bix? I don't even know what you're talking about. I really have no clue what you're speaking of, but thanks for the super chat. First one of the day. Oh, yeah, that's right. Dollar signs don't work today. Okay. Okay. Guys, thanks for a chill show. I hope that you all enjoy. I hope that you'll stick around for Clear Obscure and Doom today. And hopefully we'll hit our goals so that we can continue on and do our DSP Tries It reward by the end of the week. And thank you so much for hanging out, for chilling and supporting as you always do. No podcast tomorrow, but I'll be back on Friday to end the streaming week. Thank you all. See you then. Peace out.